Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Aqua. Today we are going to be reading the next chapter of SOULTIDE. The only warnings for this chapter, it says it's temporary death, Minecraft death methods, non-graphic serious injury, that's semi-comedic, coding versus magic. Okay, so thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy. And if you're subscribing, consider hitting the bell to get notified whenever I post an update. So, yeah, I'm going to retry this a bit. Grian has joined the game. Good Time with Scar has joined the game. Cubfan135 has joined the game. Mumbo has joined the game. Wells Knight has joined the game. Grian blinked and looked around. Around him there were stripped mangrove logs, mangrove roots, bamboo, and Scar, who had donned his double-life rancher outfit again. The pandas stared at them. "We logged out at our base!" Grian suddenly screamed, wings flapping, not sure if he wanted to fly or run. He just wanted to be anywhere but the pit full of pandas. He ignored Scar, bursting into laughter. "I forgot we'd end up here. Well, they're all the way over at spawn." At least it looked like it was daylight, so they didn't have to worry about being mobbed by zombies and skeletons without any armor. Grian took to the air. Without rockets, he couldn't go as fast as he would have liked, and he flapped as hard as he could. "Wait, Grian, I don't have elytra." Scar's voice faded fast, left behind as Grian headed for spawn. The three waiting at spawn were unharmed, and had even started on wooden tools in the few minutes it had taken for Grian to fly over. Two pairs of green eyes welcomed him. He frowned at one pair of black eyes. "Cub, why aren't you green?" "Wells and Mumbo have green eyes, so we can confirm they're under the Third Life mod," and Grian checked his hearts. "Thank the gods I'm not on hardcore anymore." "The tab list says he's a green life," Mumbo offered, checking his communicator. "Should I get Tango since Jimmy's here?" "What?" Sure enough, Grian checked the tab list, and yep, Jimmy's name was glaring yellow among their green names. "I thought the point of inviting us was that Cub and I aren't part of the game," Wells Knight pointed out. "If Jimmy's not bothering us, I think it's fine. A little weird to chill on a death game server during its off time, but hey, he can do what he wants." Grian didn't respond, tapping his communicator. A hologram screen popped up in front of him, replacing the tiny screen on his wrist as a display for coding. His hands flew over the keyboard on his watch, and he forced a voice channel to connect. "Hey, Tim?" Jimmy's voice came through the tiny speaker on his communicator, punctuated by a startled shriek. "Ah, Grian! What? Don't do that!" Yeah, you've noticed the soulmate glitch, right?" Grian kept typing, executing commands privy to himself. He blinked a few times to adjust the sudden overlays that appeared in his vision. The average player had access to basic overlays to see chunk borders, hitboxes, light levels, and biome information. None of that was particularly helpful to Grian right then, so he went straight for running admin commands to give himself a multitude of other visual overlays. More colors appeared in his vision, drawing lines and numbers over the world. Took me a bit, but yeah, Empires is still trying to get in contact with Hermitcraft right now. Grian grimaced. He didn't want to admit that it hadn't even crossed his mind to contact the other Double Life members on other servers. His two soulmates were on Hermitcraft, and that connection was all he had been concerned about. Yeah, I'm sure Zuma will get on that. Listen, I'm doing some mod testing by spawn. Keep out of the way and don't grind important resources before the actual game session. Okay? Yeah, no problem." Grian ended the voice call, then enclosed his floating computer parts to look at the hermits again. A tapping motion in each player's direction gave him individual information in the admin overlays. Each one showed a full bar of hearts. He could see that Mumbo and Cub had no armor protection, while a glimpse into Wells Knight's stats showed the Dragonborn to have a few ticks of natural armor. However, there was one detail about Cub's overlay information that didn't match up. Cub, why are your eyes, normal? Well, it says the Third Life mod is on you, which it should since the mod's baked into the server, but the number of lives are always marked by the eye color. Because Cub's Vex, Scar said, stepping out of the trees, bamboo cane in hand. Instead of in his shirt pocket, Jellie sat in a crossbody satchel at his hip. Scar, we're using a mod for the life colors, not magic. No, he's right, Cub corrected. Vex magic overrides appearance mods. I always put in the colors myself when we play. See? Scar pointed to his own eyes, blurring through the haze of coding overlays, and Grian watched as they shifted from brilliant green to yellow, then red, and then a dusty blue. Right, so you guys know the basics of the life games? Grian rubbed one eye, but he powered through the headache that he knew was going to start. Sure, Wells Knight answered. I think everyone on Hermitcraft watched the videos Azuma sent out. And we read over the rules you passed out a few weeks ago when you were asking for players. 3 lives and injury sharing, and a personality change coded into those with 1 life left, which we're supposed to be immune to. Hopefully, Grian clarified. We can confirm that Vexes are immune to it. Thanks to Scar. Though a Dragonborn might be immune too. But that was only in case the glitch made us all red lives when we joined. Grian's eyes jumped over the bits of coding, entity boxes, changing values, layered information, and lines of movement and pathing, trying to find the secret hidden there. There had to be something to show for the glitch. When he looked at Mumbo and Scar, he could see their health values, searching for the part that triggered the hardcore mode. Entities bounced and transformed stats as Scar laid down some mangrove logs to serve as seats. He squinted at Cub. Scar? Cub? Grian hesitated, not quite sure how to phrase his request. Is there any way you can dampen your magic or something? No, Cub said at the same time, and Scar said, not really. Grian sighed. Fine, okay, the overlays are just sitting weird on you two. Oh, our glamours! Scar straightened up. The brilliant green faded from his eyes. Can I make a few tweaks? Is that better? I can make a few tweaks. Is that better? Grian didn't see a change. Not really, but he nodded. Okay, well, Cub, neither of you are on hardcore. I need to watch you get hurt and die. Cub chuckled. Wells Knight sighed. Well, I guess this is what we signed up for, Wells commented, grinning at Cub. So what's it gonna be? Cub asked. Crit with an axe, old-fashioned bow and arrow, or pillar and jump? Scar answered the question with a smile that was much too wide, and a bucket of snow he dumped on the grass. I like it. I like it. With that, Cub waded into the snow. I'm not seeing anything weird, Grian commented when the chill started to eat at Cub and Wells Knight's hearts. Despite his teeth chattering, Wells Knight managed to get out, what if one of us left? Oh, to look at the soulmate pane across servers. Mumbo asked. Grian hummed. Given a moment, Cub fan 135 froze to death. Wells Knight died. Death messages are normal, Grian reluctantly reported. There was a second of delay between the two deaths, which had been a stubborn issue with the mod since testing. Grian buried his face in his hands, giving his eyes a break from the admin overlays. What was he missing? What was he supposed to be looking for? Where did the glitch come from? Why did everyone on Hermitcraft get affected by the mod? Grian found himself asking. He looked up at Cub and Wells Knight as they respawned, grimaces on both their faces from twin headaches. Do you guys remember when you started feeling the soulmate connection? Before we tested to find my soulmate, nothing. Cub sat on a mangrove log next to Scar, who had Jellie laying in his lap. Grian did a double take when he realized none of the overlays touched Jellie. According to the coding, there was the image of Jellie, but she wasn't actually there. I've taken it easy this season, Wells Knight admitted. Instead of staying inside and reading all day tends to have a low chance of injury. Try as he might, looking between his own soulmates and Cub and Wells Knight, and even when he squinted at the two Vexes, Grian couldn't find any differences in the flowing code. There isn't any difference from when I tested it before, Grian said. What makes it different now? Where's the hardcore coming from? Why are you three even part of the game's mod? Are you guys all from Hermitcraft? Jimmy's voice interrupted them, coming from above. Grian glanced at the other Elytrian perched on top of the tree. He didn't have it in him to glare. His eye just twitched. Yeah, we are. Wells at your service, and this is Cub. Wells Knight introduced them. Grian invited us to test out the mod, since we ended up as soulmates from the glitch. The glitch? But you guys aren't part of Double Life, right? How'd that happen? Jimmy jumped down from the tree, yellow wings buffering his fall. His eyes matched the shade of his feathers. I'm trying to figure that out, but everything looks like it's working properly from the Double Life side. I'll have to ask our admin for our operator so I can look into it and on Hermitcraft. Grian scanned the coding details with Jimmy in the picture, taking in all the details that would share to a soulmate. With Tango back on the Hermitcraft server, Jimmy was a convenient test subject, while he had the overlays on. The only issue he could see with Jimmy being here was an accidental death, putting the duo on red before the game resumed. The absence of red lives meant nobody here was that bloodthirsty to make that a worry. Scar nudged Jellie onto Cub's lap. Steadying himself with his bamboo cane, he got to his feet. Hey, Jimmy? Yeah? Stay still for a moment. Scar, what are you doing with that axe? Just stay very still for me, okay? Uh-huh. Jimmy took a few steps back. I'm gonna nope out of this. Scar lunged and swung the axe down as Jimmy turned to run, and Grian winced at the crunch. Well, nobody was that bloodthirsty except for the Vexes. Ooh, right in the wing joint, Cub commented with an appreciative whistle. That's gotta hurt. Grian nodded, not being able to say anything out of sympathy. Scar, for his part, looked very proud of himself when he turned back to them, beaming at him specifically. Was that good, Grian? Did you get the info you needed to see? Grian had to imagine Tango over in Hermitcraft, suddenly down half his hearts, frantically munching on golden carrots and golden cookies. But the coding had acted differently than with Wells Knight and Cub. Give me a minute. Jimmy groaned from a pile of yellow and red in the grass. I hate you two so much. He had to keep watching. Before Grian's eyes, he's marked in the numbers in his vision, Jimmy's heart ticked upwards, refilling for seemingly no reason. No external force was seen transferring health to him. No sight of any elevated internal restoration statistics. Wait. Grian couldn't see the soulmate connection anywhere on Jimmy. It was the absence of coding that held the answer. That's it, he breathed. He whirled around to look at his soulmates and the non-gaming duo. And his eyes searched out the tiniest text that coded them to each other. His eyes searched out the tiny text that coded them to each other. The little tags that tied each one with their soulmate, left over from the randomizer that chose them in the first place. The label that told the coding who each player was partnered with. None of the people had any sign of those tags. Not even Scar, whose game soulmate was right here in front of him. The mod's broken, Grian realized. I think we're a little past that part, mate, Mumbo said. Grian shook his head. No, I mean the mod isn't even active anymore. He looked at Jellie in Cub's lap, the white and gray cat purring from chin scratches. The cat without any coding clinging to her, just like how the overlays didn't know how to handle the glamours on Cub or Scar. We're not dealing with a glitched mod here, he realized. This is magic. Can I have op? No. What about now? No. Now? No. Okay. Grian leaned forward, watching Azuma sort through shulker box upon shulker box. Can I have op now? Azuma sighed. For the last time, Grian, I am not giving you operator. So you're going to say yes this next time? No. Oh, come on. Aren't you going to answer that? Azuma pointed at Grian's communicator, which had been lighting up with messages ever since he jumped back to Hermitcraft. Looks like someone's trying to get a hold of you. It's Zedaf. Grian didn't give in to the distraction and glanced at his watch. Instead, he hopped back on top of the block, perching there to watch Azuma. He wants to do some tests with me and Scar since we're on hardcore. I'd rather just look at things through the admin controls. Still no. Azuma shot down before he could ask again. Grian stuck his tongue out at him. I think you should at least go talk to him. You never know. Zedaf might notice something key to figuring out this glitch. There's definitely magic involved, Grian mumbled. Azuma looked at him, expression unreadable through the helmet. All the better you talk to Zedaf, then. What if you put the server on easy mode for a little bit? Grian suggested, until things are sorted out for us hardcore folks. That's something I'd have to talk to the rest of the hermits about. I have a feeling they wouldn't be so happy with the drop in mob farm rates if I did that. Besides, you're changing the subject. Go talk to Zedaf. He'll come up with something. He'll come looking for you if you won't go to him anyway. Grian groaned and rolled his eyes. Fine. I'll go find his nether portal. I'm taking a couple of totems of undying with me. That's probably a good idea. I'll keep an eye on the chat in case I need to force respawns.